for some Cuphead. Take it away, Mexican Runner.
Hello, hello, hello. Well,
yeah.
Really hard to start talking with this audience. Thank you so much, man. I really, guys, love you. Thank you so much for all the support. Well, my name is TheMexicanRunner, for those of you who don't know. And I will be playing Cuphead for you tonight. So, I would like to introduce my couch. I have here the main man, the only one that is amazing, really great speedrunner, Blechy, commentator, and he's all around. He's all in one. I have MCAaronIce. MCAaronIce. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I saw the face. And I have KerryMadonna as well here in the couch. Okay. So, well, we have some kind of issue. Yep.
Someone say this never happened before.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. We'll get through. Just gotta make sure everything is perfect.
Somebody from the tech to help me out.
Let's fix it now.
What?
Hey, you guys gotta remember, this is a 1930 game, okay? Gotta
Well, I mean, like, we have to fix.
Okay, someone purposely put this music on here. I'm just saying. Okay, it's time to give it another try. Let's go.
Woo, 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 woo. Hello, everybody. This is take two. So I'm the Mexican Runner, and I will be introducing my couch very quick. I have Blechy, boom, MCAaronIce, and I have KerryMadonna here in the couch. Woo. And I have the audience right there. Woo. Yeah! They're very supportive all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, first of all, I would like to explain this category. It's all S and P. So for that category, I will be using the expert, but I'm going to do a glitch that is the fresh expert glitch. So in a beaten file, I just enter and put expert highlighted, and then I just go to title. And that does the magic, but very important, you need a beaten file. So very important to keep in mind for this category, I will be playing expert. Despite of starting a fresh game, it's gonna be expert, and I didn't test my controls, but I will just deal with it. Oh, okay, so shall we make a countdown? Everybody, we're ready? Okay, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Cuphead. This game is insane, so unbelievably difficult. And not only is it difficult, TMR, as he mentioned, is going to be playing on Expert. Not only that, he is going to be doing all S and P ranks. S rank is the hardest thing you can do in the boss levels. P rank is the hardest thing you can do on the run and gun stages.
Oh, I remember you from last GDQ. You were playing the game. So this time is gonna be a lot harder. Take this potion because it's dangerous to go alone, son. Well, that was...
What voice acting? Love it. So the game, if you don't know, the game has 4 pretty basic moves: jump, shoot, dash, and EX special. We're going to be starting off right in this run and gun level. So every run and gun level, TMR needs to get a P rank, which means pacifist. That means he cannot kill a single enemy in this level. So he can, unlike the other boss stages, he can take damage, and theoretically he could take a bit longer, but he cannot kill a single enemy. So as he kind of gets to the end of this level, normally where you would need to beat this final enemy blocking the level, TMR is actually going to take damage and skip underneath it, which will happen very, very shortly. Meanwhile, okay, he's doing a quick setup here. It's very important that he does this. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, yeah, he was going for a ledge clip there. He didn't get the ledge clip, but he used the parry thing, which is the more intended way, and he made it through.
Yeah, very, very solid. Coming up, we have another run and gun. Whew.
That's so hard.
It's so nerve-wracking, that first level. It's unbelievable. So we'll see this grade P come up because TMR didn't defeat any enemies. Next level is another... Woo, P! Next level is another run and gun called Treetop Trouble. It's going to be very similar. You'll notice that TMR is dashing as quickly as possible through these levels. At the start of this level, he's actually going to be kind of resetting the cooldown on his dash by jumping up this level, because as soon as you land from a dash, the cooldown resets and you can just chain those dashes very, very quickly. As he does so, again, he is not killing any of these enemies. He's just cruising right through, because naturally this is a speed run. As he goes through this level, you might notice in the previous level he was collecting coins. That wasn't for the P rank. It was just because he needs, as he exits this level, he's going to be entering the shop. He needs to have 11 coins total, 3 from the intro, 5 from the first stage, and 3 from this stage. He's about to skip another enemy just so that he can get that P rank. So hopefully it goes well. Nice. That one.
Great job.
That one's simpler than the first one, but still very difficult. All right, we got to get right into this shop here. So he's going to be, this is the only time he's going to be visiting the shop the whole time. He's going to be buying 2 weapons called the Lobber and the Roundabout, and he's going to be buying, woo, Lobber, woo, Roundabout. And he's going to be buying the Smoke Bomb as well, which is a charm that for every one of those dashes, he's going to be invulnerable between the start and end of his dash. So it's actually very helpful.
There's a new trick, like I found out recently, like I can exit the shop frame perfect there, and I can buy the other 2 weapons that I needed. It saves 2 seconds more than the 4 seconds that it was saving normally.
So he skipped a bit of dialogue there and was able to exit quicker, just like he said. But this is the first boss we're going to be coming up on. This is expert difficulty, so in order to get an S rank, he needs to do several things. First, he needs to parry 3 pink items. That was the first. Every single one of these boss fights, he's going to looking for pink items. Oh,
he's dropping frames. He's dropping frames somehow. Oh, computer, please, will you help us out?
He needed to reset there because he actually also needs to take no damage in any of these fights. Not 1 point of damage. So he needs to parry 3 times. He needs to take no damage. He needs to beat it in a low amount of time, which usually isn't a problem, but depending on luck can be. And he needs to land 6 EX hits. Those are EX hits that he's doing right now. So throughout the fight, he needs to land 6 of those. And I believe that's it, right, for the S rank. And because he's on expert, that's the final kind of criterion, is being on expert. So he's gotten his 3 parries. Now all he needs to do is finish this fight. This is the final phase of the fight. Well done, well done.
Ooh, that onion.
I really don't want to justify myself. Just sometimes the game, like especially when you play it for the first time in a computer, like sometimes you just kind of skip frames.
No worries.
And when that happened, I was sparring. I mean, like in my defense.
I
right?
saw you. You did it. You totally did. I saw that.
With these eyes and those eyes.
Well, probably if we check the vote at some point.
yeah.
So we're coming up on the next fight. This is the first, this is the first time the weapon swap glitch really comes into play. So usually in a casual playthrough, you're just going to be shooting one type of weapon. But if you look to the lower left of the screen, you're going to be seeing he's going to be alternating between these two weapons throughout the entire fight. And the reason that is because each weapon usually has a cooldown. But if you spam that weapon swap, then the cooldown, you're kind of having the two weapons sharing their cooldowns. So in between two boomerangs, you're fitting in a lobber shot. And you're just doing like twice as much damage as you normally would in a casual playthrough. So that allows, he basically skipped this second phase. The second phase began, and immediately the game says, well, you've done enough damage to just go right to the third phase, so just go ahead and do that. So we're in the third phase already right now, and once again, TMR is just going to be spamming these shots as quickly as possible. And again, I want to just reiterate here, taking no damage, doing it quickly, looking for 3 things to parry, and fitting in EX shots, and he did it.
I hope I didn't.
Yeah, we honestly don't know. The weapon EX can be a little bit glitchy, so sometimes with the super meter, it'll be misleading, but don't worry. Also, that skill level, he got that S. Get that S.
Golly.
He got the skill level only showed 1 star. That's honestly just a little bit glitchy. The important thing is just that we see that S when the level completes. So finally, we have a bit of a break in the action as we approach Goopy Legrand. Aaron, you know this game better than me. Do you think that we missed anything in that intro to this game?
I think we covered it. There's going to be a lot more stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
But the main things to understand this run are the things that you covered. So you did a great job, Blechy, as always.
Cool. So yeah, this is a much slower fight, so just keep in mind, he's looking for 3 pink things to parry. This boss has them very fixed. He's about to spawn those 3 question marks, and TMR's already got them, so he never needs to worry about parries on this level. Some levels, it's very random. This level, they're set. He's already on phase 3 of this fight, and
Done.
phase 3 is over, so that's it.
There's going to be some anticipation here as we wait for the results screen.
Yeah.
Normally they use an auto splitter, and it actually doesn't split unless he did fulfill all the requirements. So you can just look at the timer, you know you've done it, and you're happy. We're not going to know here. It's going to be a little bit of anticipation to make sure we see that S on that screen.
We got it. Coming up is the first time we're going to see the plane boss. There are a few of them throughout the game. They're mostly the platforming bosses, but this is the first plane boss, and it's totally different. I mean, the criteria for the S rank is absolutely the same. So once again, 3 parries, no damage, do it quickly, and yeah, that's it. And so he's going to be looking, in this particular level, the main danger, so there's actually a lot of danger in this level. For one thing, these airplanes coming out are semi-random, and he just needs to make sure that he parries the pink bullets. Now, the first phase is called the Gemini phase, and if the Gemini phase spawns this kind of meteor at the wrong time, where, oh my god, I'm freaking out, where, like if that was a black bullet, I think TMR knew it would be a parryable bullet, but if it was a black bullet, ooh, that would have been bad. So it just depends kind of how, he can dodge the bullets alone, he can dodge those spinning bullets alone as well, but combine them together and it's very difficult. Now this, Sagittarius, is the truly hardest part of this particular stage, just because those stars make it so hard. So the EX fight, the EX shot for the plane is, if you look as TMR is doing damage in the lower left of the screen, he's filling up these kind of cards. Those are his EX meter. And that's both for the platforming and the plane. You can use 1 kind of card at a time in order to fire those giant bullets, or you can wait for all 5 cards to appear, and then you can use kind of your better EX, which in this case turns you into a giant bomb and allows you to do a lot of damage. However, because this boss's hitbox is so wide, if he uses these missiles, then he can actually cause the boss to take multiple damage. So while I'm blabbering on and on and on, TMR just has to not be, he's looking everywhere on the screen. Well done, well done. His eyes are just all over the screen, just making sure that for all these different projectiles, everything the boss is throwing at him. Let's see that S. Well done. Another S. Coming up is what I feel like the first 4 bosses are kind of a tutorial, and then this.
They're not.
Well,
They're not. They're not, man. I mean, they look trivial, but they're not a tutorial.
When you're playing on simple mode, it's a bit of a tutorial.
Okay.
But here we have this boss, who is going to be Keizaron, I think?
Yes.
Keizaron. So there's actually a lot of improv in this first phase of this boss, because he needs to be making decisions. Should I be damaging the boss, or should I be clearing all these bullets from around the screen and making sure I have enough room to navigate? So he's always just going to be adapting. And he needs to be careful, because the things you're parrying in this level are those pink seeds falling from above. But when you parry something, you kind of get a double jump, as it were. So you jump higher. Meanwhile, the damage is all, the projectiles are all coming from the top of the screen. So the parry sends you higher, and then like potentially risks kind of flinging you into another enemy. So TMR just has to make this judgment. Do I clear the screen? Do I kill the boss? Here we are at phase 2. Phase 2 usually lasts pretty short. We'll see how this goes. And then phase 3 begins. TMR does so much damage, it's not too bad. He can duck on the right side, but what's really careful is, oh, nice.
Very good.
He had to be careful.
I don't know if I got this rank.
Oh, what do you think might have gone wrong?
The specials, maybe?
specials?
Find out. Anticipation.
He
Got it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's very tricky, because sometimes if you don't hit with the special, the boss, like, you don't get this rank.
Good job.
And yeah, that's a really scary moment. So this is the end of the first island. I beat all the bosses, and I got all the... Each island has 2 run and gun levels, and they have a few bosses. So right now, this is the first time we meet King Dice in here. And I'm not very sure what he says, but it's like... I'm supposed to collect the contracts of the...
Souls.
Soul.
The soul contract.
The soul contracts, yeah, that's right. The soul contracts of the... Well, I mean, the devil that is trying to... mortify citizens, but I'm gonna go to Baron Highness.
All right, here we go, Baroness von Bon Bon.
Baroness von Bon.
The first 3 phases are made up of a few mini bosses. There are 5 potential ones. This is the hardest one. There are 5 potential mini bosses. TMR is going to be fighting 3 of them. Meanwhile, not only does he have to be dealing with those mini bosses, there are also these kind of jelly beans along the bottom of the screen, and those are where the parries in this stage come from. So if he gets unlucky, he's already gotten 2, which is pretty nice, especially for the second mini boss. Here's the third one. So TMR is good on parries. Now he just needs to worry about these mini bosses and be making sure that he doesn't get hit by either the mini boss or the jelly beans flying along the screen. He actually got pretty decent luck, I think. Well, actually, the candy corn is the hardest one, so never mind. I'd say he got like okay luck. Now he's just spamming these attacks on the phase 3 of this boss, or phase 4 of this boss, which we've hit already.
Great.
And
That was
it.
great.
Do it.
Phase 3 of that boss could be really difficult and hairy, so it's great when you can get that quick kill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a really good time as well. Didn't notice that, but yeah, sometimes like recently I found out that it's better to try to get the parries in the first or second mini bosses, because in the third one, like the Baroness spawns with a like shotgun, and it's quite difficult. And not only that, after like sometimes it can get glitched and you don't deal damage to the last phase. So it's kind of tricky. This is another run and gun level, and probably you want to talk a little bit about the smoke bomb?
Yeah, definitely. So the smoke bomb always helps throughout this run, but in an all S&P run, it's actually required, because later on in this level, there's actually kind of a wall of enemies that appears. And unlike the first couple of run and guns we saw, there's no way around these enemies. He has to smoke bomb through them, just like that. There's no way of doing it otherwise. And there's so many. Maybe you can sneak under them, but there's so many, especially with this one. Oh, that's right.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So again, we're back to this run and gun set where damage doesn't matter. It's just making sure he doesn't kill any enemies. He actually ducked underneath that vending machine or the jukebox so that he didn't take any damage from it. And because he has a bit of a safety, he's doing pretty well in health, I think. And so he can. There's hot dog flinging like relish and stuff, so he can just damage boost right through.
Yeah, I had to slow down a little bit because I took the hit that I didn't wanted to take. That last part, the hot dog, like really throws the mustard directly at you. I mean, just I don't know how it tracks like the position, but that's very good programming. Shout outs to the developers. Oh, let's go for the barbershop guy. We saved it last time, so yeah. I mean, there's a barbershop quarter,
Nice.
and yeah. Just leave the commentary.
So here we have Wally Warbles. There are just ridiculous amounts of things on the screen. The parries aren't too much of a concern. These pink birds always come out at just exactly when you want them. But between the birds and the eggs on the screen, there are just a million things to watch out for. And expert difficulty actually adds kind of ones coming out the side as well. But we got through that phase.
Yeah,
now
it's worth pointing out that the expert difficulty is much tougher. Not just things are faster, but there's more projectiles on the screen. These feathers are faster. When those eggs exploded, they shot out shrapnel at them. All those things aren't in the normal difficulty, so there's more than twice as many things to keep track of.
Yes.
And when you can't take any damage, we have to remind you, no damage at all.
Right.
Or else he has to restart the fight.
TMR, that pause was intentional. He actually does it to spawn this phase faster. It's pretty interesting. And now there's actually a safe spot in the upper left. Oh, that was a late hit, so we got to reset. That was very, very hard to dodge. So yeah.
He can take the, he was going to use the EX, the nuke, because it gives you some invulnerability if you get stuck in that corner there, but got it out just a second too late.
So we're seeing this boss again. There are just so many projectiles, and especially in that phase 4 where he died, there's just so little room to navigate that. It's just crazy hard. You'll notice he's actually doing the weapon swap glitch here as well, and if you watch in the lower left. But unlike the platforming levels where you're just spamming that weapon swap, because the cooldown on the bomb is so long, you're actually mostly shooting bullets, and then every so often, right when the bomb becomes available, timing that bomb. So let's see how this goes. Take 2. We're just hoping that projectiles go where he wants them, and he's saving that special right there for just where he wants it so they can use it for the invulnerability. Nice.
There we go.
Expert does not kid around.
The heart is a little bit of a troll because when the heart comes out, he can't damage the boss at that point. He can only shoot the heart, so he wasn't actually doing damage when he was down in that corner at that time.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I didn't transform into the bomb that gives me the invincibility frames, just because I wanted to hit the boss to kill it a little bit faster, but, well, instead, we just make longer the run.
Yeah. I mean, you're giving us more time to talk about it. So thank you very much. So there's a lot to talk about in this next level. This is the first time we're seeing the boss glitch of this game. So you've seen like a few different boss phases. Usually they're kind of transforming into something, but in this stage they're going to be coming from off the screen, and so TMR is bombing like he is there. He's actually shooting a later phase of the boss that's off screen, and that's not only to optimize his damage.
I didn't got the glitch.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can get the glitch, but the thing is, I only got 2 parries, so I will have to go intentionally to the later phases.
Okay.
And hope for the best, right?
We're going to see more of this fight, which is going to be great.
Yeah. We will see that boss glitch that I mentioned certainly in later bosses. So keep in mind kind of the way I explained it, and we'll talk about it again as it comes out. There are still, I think, like 3 more phases after this one to this boss. And each one of them is just so crazy. So here, we're hoping for, what is it? Oh, no, okay, right. So we just need to do as much damage as possible to that boss. It dies very quickly. Now the puppet comes up. The puppet is actually what we were attacking when we were shooting off screen, because you'll see it's kind of coming up off screen. It was there all along. So we were damaging it with bombs. But now it's on the screen, and this is phase, I think, 4 out of 5.
Had he had gotten his 3 parries and he would have gone ahead and done the glitch, he actually would have done so much damage, it would have transitioned to this phase. But so when the sarcophagus phase comes out, it just gets locked in that phase, and we wouldn't have even seen these.
I'm not sure if I got the 3 parries. I hope so.
I think you did.
Also, I don't have a safety net. Okay. Oh, not the weapon. Oh, man.
Oh,
okay.
Nice. All right. Let's see. I think you got it as well, but...
I think so. I hope so.
There you go.
Parry, 3 parries. Let's see that. Nice. We're headed into Blechy the Clown. which is already another boss glitch. So you're going to be seeing if everything goes according to plan. I mean, it's not a huge time loss if we can't get it, but if everything goes according to plan, TMR is going to be doing just enough damage at the end of phase 1 so that phase 2 comes on, but TMR did so much damage that he's actually kind of in the window of damage for phase 3. So TMR is doing very specific damage and trying to get the parries in against the pink ducks so that he skips, like, ideally it's going to be phase 2 for the rest of the fight after this.
He got it.
And he got it. You can tell from those explosions at the top. Let's give him a round of applause. That's really, really hard. So you can tell from those explosions at the top of the screen and the way that the boss is like saying, "Okay, I'm dead. Stop attacking me." That he wants. There's phase 3, but he's still in phase 2. So this is where the boss is going to be finished.
I still need to get one more parry.
One more parry. Okay. So he's waiting for the dog balloons. Dog balloons. Okay. The dog balloons, and now he's just going to do enough damage to finish off the boss.
Well, if he wants to die,
There we
yeah, there we go.
Okay, so let's see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta see that S, man. I gotta make sure. Okay, so we have the second run and gun here. I think it's called Funhouse Frazzle. Would you mind, Aaron, explaining kind of how these the giant eye doors work in this level?
So these eye doors, you're meant to shoot them, and then they die, and you walk through them. You can actually slip through them when they open up to release the vehicles. But what he's going to attempt to do here is to actually kind of take damage and glitch through them. He already took a hit, so we'll see if he goes for it. He's going to do it here, and there he goes. He just pushes right through the wall, and he didn't need to shoot anything. He didn't need to wait for anything. But he's going to have a tougher time for the rest of this fight because he only has 1 hit point.
Oh, man.
I just jinxed you. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's just... Yeah, it's fine.
And I think there's actually a second one of those eye walls, right?
Yes, there's another one at the end of the level, which is going to be much riskier, and we'll see when we get to there.
Oh. Nice.
So those the parrying the cards is going to flip the gravity, lets him go walk on the ceiling, walk on the ground, and these guys who are coming out, they're random, so what side they're going to come on, he has to be careful and watch out for them.
What? No, come on.
As you can see.
Yeah, that guy is never there, so I was like, what? Okay, I'm gonna try to smoke bomb here the tuba guy.
Very good.
It's just to go a little bit faster.
So this final wall has...
Oh, I forgot. I can just walk and...
There you go. Very good.
Nice job. He actually uses his damage boost from kind of falling into a pit in order to fall and use the gravity the way he wants to. So really solid. And there's the P. Here we have the boss actually that gave me the most trouble in my playthrough, Grim Matchstick, the dragon boss.
You're not alone in that.
Yeah.
This probably gives most people... This is a real barrier for most people when they hit this
Right.
boss.
There's going to be another boss glitch here, actually. Hopefully TMR. So TMR is either ideally... There's 3 possibilities. A, he does the fight normally. B, he does enough damage within this phase in order to kind of... in order to help out with the rest of the fight. The last possibility is that he does enough damage after he goes off screen, but just between the time that he comes in from the left and his tongue rolling out in order to make the fight simpler. So let's see how this fight goes. He needs, the only time in this fight for parries though, is the 3 rings. I haven't been keeping track. I'm not sure if he's done them yet. Clearly he has, because he knows what to do. So
I got the glitch.
He got the glitch.
Yeah,
So
the
you'll see
screen is shaking.
So that he's locked this into place. He's not going to get the 3rd phase.
Yeah.
But he does still have to dodge these little flamers.
So you can see the boss is exploding. So the boss, again, is in that like phase 3 kind of window, and he's just saying, kill me. And TMR does. Whew.
Let's see that S.
Show me that S. Yeah.
Boom, baby.
All right, TMR, how are you feeling headed into aisle 3?
I feel like the start when the screen chop, like it feels kind of unfair. So I'm quite nervous. Like it will just chop in any other time, and it will make some unwanted mistake.
Yeah.
How I'm feeling? Well, I'm nervous because the robot is... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The robot is going to be a difficult fight, definitely.
Yeah.
And a lot of bosses here are tougher than the previous ones. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. so far so good.
Because he has to get the 3 parries in these fights, he's playing in the Legacy version. I don't think we mentioned that. This is the original version of the game without any patches to it, so that allows the weapon swap glitch. And there's also some other things that they made easier or more fair once they did the patch, which is they added some places where you could do parries. Because some of these, he can only do parries in certain phases. So you may see him stop doing damage to the boss in some phases where he can draw out more attacks so he can get all the parries done before moving on.
Absolutely. This is one of the more luck-reliant stages and ones that requires adaptation. I think TMR has already gotten all 3 parries, and now he needs to be. You'll notice that some of these platforms are missing if you kind of look at it in kind of these diagonal platforms. So TMR always needs to be mindful of what platforms are and are not appearing. Now we're just looking to finish her before she actually leaves the screen. She's kind of in her transition to her final phase, and it was no problem at all.
Yeah, the platforms were kind of mean in the right side, so I had to move to the left side. But yeah, you kind of have to keep track. Like, first of all, you land in the platforms, then the bullets don't hurt you. Because, yeah, this category needs to be very precise to don't get hit. And that is a
great improvisation.
Yeah, definitely. Like, ideally, you can just jump and hit, but no, it was not like that. So I got lucky that I didn't get hit.
Nice. So headed into Rugged Ridge here. It's another run and gun. It actually has an auto-scroller in it, which is pretty rare in this game, honestly. But the main thing here is that in this first part of the level, he's actually going to smoke bomb pretty accurately. Let's see if he does. Okay.
Over this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. And then, so he's approaching the auto-scroller now. And actually, I kind of want to take a bit of time to kind of talk about what we're not seeing this run, because there's so much to this game. There are so many just like different types of weapons, the charge gun, the spread, the homing, the pea shooter, which you saw very briefly at the start. But you don't see those just because in order for the weapon swap glitch to be as optimized as possible, it's just the roundabout and the lobber, which are most effective. You also notice that TMR hasn't taken the time to go to one of those mausoleums in this game to get a special. It takes just way too much time to get one of those specials. And even if you did just kind of get it, then it's just not worth the time.
So the nice thing about this auto-scroller is it does allow you to keep pushing the screen forward, and he's going to do that, but he has to be really careful. These flames can be just in the wrong spot, and you can go right into them. It's a little dangerous.
Yeah, you're so far ahead on the right side of the screen that it's just nice to have that 1 HP buffer. And you can't even be shooting because you don't want to kill the flames or else you won't get the P rank. TMR knows he's at the end, so he just dashes to the end. And then like 5 minutes later, the guy that was chasing you falls over.
Yeah.
So maybe we have a time for a quick donation. Oh, yeah, very quick because the
All right.
best prize is
I got you. We got $150 from Yellow Devil that says, leaving a donation here to give a shout out to my main man, TMR, staying up late to watch the amazing Cuphead run. Put this towards blindfolded, menuing, and Final Fantasy IX.
Thank you.
So this is one of the hardest bosses of the run, actually. I feel like I say that for every single one. But here we have Dr. Calls Robot. So TMR is going to expose the boss's heart. First, he's going to actually get 3 parries. The only thing I think you can parry in Legacy is these cylinders that come out of his chest. So TMR is going to do just the right amount of damage to get him on that cusp so that this thing comes out. Then he does a very precise amount of damage to the heart, because after he does that precise amount of damage, he's going to get as close as possible to the heart and do the alternate special for this fight. Oh.
I didn't got it. It's just sometimes I need to do 6 damage to the heart, and sometimes it doesn't quite respect that.
You have to do, you basically, I think, the way I understand it is you have to take that heart to as close as possible to the damage threshold before the next phase without going over. And then you get very, very close and you do this kind of magnet bomb attack. Which is otherwise, I think, useless. I never used it in my casual play.
The magnet bomb is sort of like a spread shot. It shoots out a lot of stuff at once, and for whatever reason in this fight, if you get right up inside the heart's hitbox and hit it with all of it at the same time, it just ends the fight immediately, and you just win. even if he fails to get it, it's still faster to reset and try again rather than to continue through the fight because it saves so much time.
Yeah. The third phase lasts, if you make it to it, which we won't be seeing, the third phase lasts extremely, extremely long. Oh my God. And that there's this,
come on.
So, look at all the projectiles on the screen. So let's talk about that. TMR!
Let's go!
Let's talk about everything he needs to be mindful of. So, first of all, we have all the bolts coming out of the top part of the head. Second, once he destroys the stomach, then the bombs come out and start chasing him down. In addition to that, he also has these just all the parries to be careful of. With and sometimes the arms will come out and either become magnets, which pull him, or else they'll kind of wind through and do damage that way. I feel like I interrupted that, man. Let's hear it for TMR. Do it. TMR. 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 Oh. You got this. So that's one of the harder ones to come out, because he has to watch out for those projectiles. There are just so many types of projectiles.
I'm gonna try lucky bolt.
What went wrong there?
When I hit the bottom thing, the bottom missile, it hit like the target, and yeah.
Got it. Cool.
The thing is, I can do the normal way, like it's the three phases. I really want to show you the glitch. It's very difficult to execute.
Cool.
This is my fault. I told TMR it would be better if he failed this a few times, just to show how hard it is and set up the drama, and then here we go. He's doing it for all of us.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3.
Those hand bullets, just everything
4,
together
5.
is just so hard to dodge.
I could do the 6. Oh, okay. This is my work. This is my work. Please. Yes!
Yes!
First try.
No problem, man.
I didn't see all those others.
I mean, even the robot cooperated. Like, he didn't shoot anything there. It was just like
we want you to have this.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready for it.
It was.
Nice.
That was a glitch. And it's very difficult. Like, doing the normal fight takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds. This one took me 36 plus a lot of retries, so it was worse than actually doing the normal fight. But at least you got to see the glitch. That is tough to execute.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you showed that off.
Yeah.
So here we have here we have Werner Werman. We're hoping for the kind of catapult attack, not this one. That's the best way to get parries in this level. Otherwise, you have to wait for quite a while at the end. So we're hoping to see, there's that catapult.
This is what we want.
And then we want kind of good patterns coming out of this. We could only get one parry here. We can only get one parry there as well. So TMR is the choice right now to either wait. So he's going to commence phase 2. And then in phase 3, we have one more chance. I mean, this phase is going to last pretty short. Phase 3 is already starting. And now TMR actually kind of has to watch his damage to make sure he doesn't kill the boss, because he needs to wait long enough. He got pretty unlucky with those initial parries. So now these guys hopefully are going to shoot a purple bullet the way he wants them to. He's going to parry it, and then he will just kind of totally destroy that boss. Nice. Now the worrying thing, again, he kind of was using those EX shots this whole time to fill his super meter. We're hoping to see that 6, and there it is. Let's see that S, and there it is.
Yeah, like for this category in particular, you need to adjust like all the time. Like depending on what you got, you have to adjust everything. So, like for example, Beppy,
Which one?
Blechy was talking about some glitches, and I had to don't do them in order to get this rank, right? So usually in a speedrun, you just restart, but I tried for this marathon to, if whatever I get, I just try to deal with it. Except for that robot that I show you.
So, Aaron, what do we want to see out of this boss?
We're open for octopus, we're open for shark, and we don't want these dogs, and we just got them anyway. Yeah. So that's not good. He's got to back up a little bit. It's just going to cost a little bit of time. It's not going to cause him too much trouble for damage. And we're already moved past those.
Even though this gun shoots out parries, you actually, because it's so, there's the shark. Because only like half-ish of the bullets are pink, you can't really shoot him from point blank range, so you actually have to back off a little bit and it lowers damage. Meanwhile, phase 3, you're able to, which is about to happen, or I guess this is phase 3.
Get this
so
laser.
Here's where the parries are. That, like, each one of those is a parry, so that's free every time. Very nice. Now we can finish the boss. Oh! Or the boss can damage him.
He was right.
He was
that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was about to kill him.
Yeah.
Usually dies there. You will see.
Yeah, I thought he was already dead.
Yeah, me too. That's why I just.
Tricky.
Oh, come on.
All right, what are you sending at us, boss? This time it's the shark again. Again, I mean, there's
We
this
have to
barrel at
hit
the
the
top.
shark.
Yeah, hit the shark, hit the shark.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it just. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
So we haven't gotten any parries yet, but that's totally fine. This is actually pretty good luck. This is actually exactly what we wanted so far, pretty much. Because we're headed into phase 3. He's going to parry off that giant laser beam. Oh! He's going to, once we get to phase 3, he doesn't need any parries heading into phase 3, because he's just going to parry off of that beam 3 times.
Let's see if we can get 3 sharks.
Yeah.
One thing he just got there that is kind of important to note is because he's weapon swapping so quickly, if he shoots his special shot at the same time that he's swapping, nothing's going to come out. It's just going to fire a blank shot, and it's not going to do damage to the boss, and more importantly, it's not going to give him credit for the EX shot at the end. So he has to keep track of that to make sure that that he's done enough damage, because he may not get some of those.
Yeah. That squid one is actually the best one to get, because it doesn't do any damage. If it hits you, it just blanks your screen out a bit. All right, we're waiting for that laser so we can get some easy parries in. More than enough. Now, oh my.
There
Oh my
we go.
gosh. I got scared.
Well.
Ooh, well.
Well. Yeah, sometimes
There it is.
it's hard to keep track of the health, the amount of damage you have done to the
Absolutely.
bosses. Okay, for this run and gun level, there was a really story behind it, very interesting. So I'm gonna switch to the pea shooter, and then I'm gonna be using that at the octopus at the end of this level. That trick was not discovered despite of having a very active speedrun community. Like the developers of the game, I got the luck to get in contact with them, and he mentioned me about it, and I was like, wow, that you can actually hit the octopus. Oh, what I'm doing there? I went, ah!
Oh, there.
Sorry for the scream. Rip headphone users, right? I suddenly scream like that. Just I'm very expressive, according to what's happening. But yeah, like he mentioned me that, and then, well, we started to apply that because, yeah, usually for this one, we don't have the heart. So now you see those blinking eyes, that I'm not gonna kill the octopus. I don't think it's possible to kill him. Okay, I need to dodge those shrimps, and also I need to make sure they don't hit me, and I need to hit those rocks. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult because if you're just standing, it goes at a different speed, but because I'm moving, it is... well, I'm just gonna damage, but
Okay.
I have had enough damage.
Wow.
For that.
Timur, you didn't see me, but I'm like sweating bullets over here.
Yeah.
Why you gotta do that to me?
This is more stressful to watch than to play. I'm absolutely sure of it. If you find yourself holding your breath, it's totally natural.
Yeah.
So Calamaria coming up is actually the main boss, where it could take so long to get parryable things to get shot at you that you actually can't even complete it in the time you need. So she has a bunch of attacks early on. We're hoping for the blowfish to come up from the bottom. That's the parryable attack. And the sooner that happens, the better, because we want to get those parries so that we can beat this boss as quickly as possible.
So that was not a good one, sadly. See, ideally you want the parable things as the first attack, because that way it doesn't combine 2 attacks at once. And now we still didn't got the thing that we can parry. So these phantoms are kind of the worst because, well, they aim for you. Lucky for me, I didn't got it together with the parable things that I just got. And why did I shoot Calamaria? I hope I didn't do enough damage. So I need 3 parable things. So far, the RNG looks really bad.
We need one more. We just need one. There it is.
Okay, there it is.
Okay.
All right.
So we can finish off the boss now. TMR knows that he's pretty close to phase 2, so especially with all this damage, phase 2 is going to be very, very brief. So he actually, for both phase 2 and 3, he's going to be as close to the boss as possible in order to dodge that Petrify beam. If he got hit by that, if he was a bit further away, then he would be stunned. This is the hardest part of the fight. He needs to watch. He's so close to the right, and he needs to watch for those spike walls, and then just finish off Cala Maria like he's doing here.
Yeah,
I can't even see these things. How do you see those?
You need to see beyond the screen, right?
Yeah, why were you looking over here for all the spike walls?
Sorry, man. Yeah, I wanted to mention something, but I totally forgot. But yeah, well, that's cool. We got this rank. That's why we were. Oh yeah, I had to shoot one EX, the bullet bill, kind of, because I usually do the super attack in the first phase, but I didn't do it. I'm not sure why, and I had to adjust because at the moment of the last phase I was coming only 5 EX, so I had to shoot that one. I was trying to build up for the invincibility frames that I get with the 5 cards, the special attack, but I had to adjust. Like, it's just a little bit.
So here we're waiting to get the a parryable attack from her. She's gonna blow him a kiss.
Yeah, oh, come on. Yeah, I have to restart. It just... ideally, yeah, you want to wait until she throws some kisses and she gives you like a heart. So those are the only, well, not the only parable things, but the easiest ones to actually get. So I over-damage her. So this time I'm not doing any more damage. I'm just waiting for the kisses.
She is not cooperating. There we go.
There you go. I love you too. Oh! I love you too.
This is kind of a fun fight. It's set in a theater, and it kind of plays through this woman's life. So she's at her wedding. You see the groom in the background, and the next phase when he goes to that is going to be like a little house with babies and stuff. And I don't understand what's happening in phase 3. Maybe you'll figure it out when we get there.
Well, apparently at some point she has meteors and lightning bolts in her life.
She transitions to some sort of goddess. I don't know what part of
and then she dies.
Her career is. The fourth one is definitely when she's dead.
That sounds like a perfectly normal life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's what we all hope for.
So this boss is a little dangerous because we had to wait all that time for the parries. Phase 2 is actually the most dangerous, but we got through it, no problem. Here's phase 3. It's really quick. And actually, because TMR is the smoke bomb, he can just smoke bomb right through that, whereas it would normally deal damage to him.
Well, it has to be a precise one, I think. And it's very kind of scary.
There's the swan song, and she's already dead.
Dead beyond dead. Still got to see it. I don't believe it till I see it. We're not out of it.
Yeah, fun fact. Yes, there was one thing that we didn't know. Like, if you enter a boss fight and you pause and try to explain your commentators what's going on, then if you resume the boss fight, despite of getting the time that will normally give you the S rank, it doesn't give you the S rank because the game thinks that like you spend too much time in the game, and that is something that was very curious. I mean, just for nerds.
It only comes up if you're explaining the run to someone in the practice room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have the Phantom Express. There are 4 phases total. Parries are not a problem in this stage because they keep tossing those bricks down. Or, sorry, soap.
I thought it could be Pez as well.
Okay, Pez. Phase 2 is pretty tricky. You just want to one-cycle him. Let's see if we can get that. Nice, no problem. And then phase 3, the main thing in phase 3, I don't know if it's necessarily speeding it up or just looks cool, but you want to finish both of these twin heads on the same side.
Oh, I got a nothing, so that's not very good. 2 nothings. Oh, okay.
Very good, that was great.
Cool. And now phase 4, however, is the most dangerous. It's probably the shortest, but it's the most dangerous because these fireballs are going to come out, and you just have to be very, very, very careful of them.
He's pre-shooting his shots here, so when he opens it, they're already hitting the heart.
Come on.
Might not be enough. It is. All right.
All right. I never know with that super meter.
Yeah.
Only TMR's keeping track of that. We have to just trust them.
Got it.
Not really, man. I'm just keeping track of not getting hit. That's my main thing to focus on.
I think we're all keeping track of that one.
TMR, you like King Dice? What are your thoughts on King Dice?
Yeah, actually, that's one of my favorite bosses, together with Cala Maria. I mean,
naturally,
of course. I mean, to me, I didn't play. There is a Sega game, Gunstar Heroes, I think. Yeah. It has like a very similar kind of format for the boss. fight. But to me, this was the first time I ever see it. So for me, this is the one, right? So I'm gonna go to the number 2. I really like that it has mini bosses and spoiler to at the end the king dies. So it's a pretty nice concept.
There's 9 different bosses that he could choose from here. He obviously has ones that he prefers based on this route, but depending on the route, he might do different ones, or in some cases, all of the bosses.
Yeah, the ones that are fastest, obviously, the ones that are fastest are the ones he goes with. For a little bit, actually, the speed run was using number 3 on the dice track, which is the cigar, if you guys are familiar with this game. But this one, it was found to be faster just after precisely measuring it.
Yep.
Next up, yep.
No, I just want to say definitely it was safe for the cigars. You say.
Next up, we have 4, which is, I believe, the domino. There is some danger to this. Again, I mean, like, even though, so to reiterate, you can actually get plus health in this stage, but it's still no damage. Even if TMR lands on one of the spots that's plus health, he can take no damage in this throughout all 3 mini-boss fights plus the final King Dice fight.
And that's a consequence of playing the Legacy version. If you play on the current patch, as long as you finish a fight with 3 health, it's going to give you credit. And so even if you use the 5 health charm or something like that where you have extra HP, you can go through it. But in this case, if you take any damage, it doesn't matter how many you finish with, it's no good. They're not going to give it to you.
So a quick safety break, just like a little coffee break here. Let's see. Get that 3. Nice.
So on to the monkey.
Get zen. Get zen. And then on to the monkey. Okay. Cool. You want to explain the monkey?
Yeah, so we're going, you may have found this casually, I know I did. We're going for a glitch here. He's going to attempt to freeze this monkey off the screen, and this will be really fast if he gets it. And
No, I didn't, brother.
Okay, he's going to try again. He's going to get a lot of opportunities here. It's always going to be faster to keep trying it rather than fight it. I think he got it, and the fight's over. He did it. Normally, there's like 5 phases to that fight, and that just takes too long, so.
Like, initially, you would think I would never do that fight in a speed run, but winds up because of the glitch being right. Nice.
Oh, man.
All right, King Dice himself. This fight can be a bit unlucky depending on where the pink parryable cards are. Oh, my God.
That's a big gap. This is
yeah.
Okay, he's
all
right.
You can dash, but yeah. I hope that, I can't hear it. I hope everyone behind me is doing the finger walk here.
Oh my God,
Oh my
terrible luck, okay. Very good, wow.
Yeah, one hit there, like, and I had to start over the fight.
How many parries do you think you actually got? 54, 55?
I think it was 51.
All right. So the devil himself is coming up, the final boss of the game, 4 phases total. On simple mode, actually, you wouldn't fight either King Dice or the devil. But on regular and expert modes, these are the final modes. And naturally, we're not going to hand over those contracts. You got to fight us for them, man. There are a bunch of, in the first phase, there are a bunch of different attacks the devil can do. The spider is kind of the worst. This attack is good. And also the kind of ring of projectiles is difficult as well. This is one of the hardest ones just because it adds so much complexity and makes you have to dodge where you really just want to be dealing damage.
So the phases that he gets here is going to affect what he does because he is looking for parryable items here so he doesn't have to worry about them later. So far he's only gotten 1 attack that actually has, so he's only got 1 parry right now, TMR, you need 2 more. He's doing that's some more hitbox off screen there. He's did a little extra damage. This is the phase where he's going to want to get the rest of the parries because phase 3 and phase 4 are the final 2 phases, and things are going to, pardon the pun, but that's where all hell breaks loose. And he's going to go for it.
You too? Okay.
Yeah, the parry, this is the hardest way to parry, but he's going for it. Devil has very little health. It's just about those parries.
He has to get these tiers. Time.
That was a 48-42.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Give it up to this man here, the Mexican runner.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
TMR. TMR. TMR.
TMR. Oh.
I actually want to say, before I take it to you guys again, we had an anonymous $10,000 donation. And all they say is, game on, folks.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you for that donation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I want to say, like, this is a very difficult category, as you saw. I made it look easy, but it is hard. It is hard. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody who is supporting from the heart, like this charity marathon, like all the people working behind the scenes, making this possible. I want to thank the couch commentating, making this run more enjoyable, because I definitely had to focus a lot. I usually talk a little bit, but probably in this category, I just keep on screaming because there's so many dangers that happen. I also want to thank everybody who came here to watch specifically this, and all the people who donated to meet the incentive for this run to happen, 75,000K. No. $75K. That was a lot. That was a lot. And all the people on my own stream that helped me out to make possible the trip here to AGDQ. I'm very thankful to all of you. And on behalf of the Cuphead community, it has a very active community. You can ask any one of the the people in speedrun.com that they have the usernames there on Twitch. Like, you can message us. Even myself, and I will guide you, like, if you want to start learning the game, if you want to start speedrunning, this is a pretty amazing game, as you saw it. Like, too much to talk about, and we could spend hours and hours just talking about every single thing, the music of the game, the graphics of the game. In this case, it was mainly focused in the difficulty, hazards, and all that, but the game, it is a piece of art, in my opinion, and that's why I love it. It is difficult. I tend to try to go for something else, and this category is one of the hardest. And yeah, I'm very thankful to all of you. Thank you so much.
So, Mexican Runner, when are you going to do one-handed? Challenge accepted? I'll do it with you, okay? Thank you so much. That was an amazing run of Cuphead for the Mexican Runner. Give it up. But coming up next, we got the wonderful Tej with the amazing game Celeste, all chapters. You definitely want to stay tuned for that. I'm going to go ahead and read just a few donations before we get squared away. Got a $5 donation from Genova2809 that says TMR, TMR, TMR. Thank you so much. $500 from Steve-O the Human that says, great to see another run of Cuphead y su amigo, Mega Man. Whoop, that absolutely perfect run. We got an anonymous $125 donation that says, my boyfriend and I look forward to AGDQ every year, and it never disappoints. Looking forward to Cuphead and Final Fantasy IX runs. Fufu of F44 donates $500 that says, Taskbot and Twitch plays Super Scribblenauts? Yes, please. Gilded Dragon, thank you for your $35 donation that says, Cuphead, Celeste, Wind Waker, oh me, oh my, I am not getting any sleep tonight. Work is going to be killer tomorrow, but it will be totally worth it. Good luck to every runner, and remember, get hyped. Boston donates $125 that says, gotta donate ahead of Cuphead, my favorite game of all time, by one of the best runners in the community. Thank you so much for that donation. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and throw it to a Twitch ad. Don't worry, stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone, to Awesome Games Done Quick 2019. I'm Edobean. I'll be your host for right now. Don't forget about what we're doing this for. This is for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which is the only U.S.-based nonprofit organization solely dedicated to cancer prevention and early detection. Our mission is saving lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection. Our vision is to stop cancer before it starts. We got a $13.37 donation from Chad244 that says, giving you guys money to fight cancer is better than paying attention to my job, and you guys are destroying games I could never beat when I was young. Keep it up. All right, and it is time to have our lovely interview with our Keizaron and Linkus, so go ahead and take it away.
What is up, AGDQ2019? It's Keizaron again. I'm here with my man, DJ Pauza himself, Linkus. Welcome back to
Thank
GDQ.
you. I appreciate
It's great to
that.
have you back.
Thank
so
you.
we had you running any percent last time with this game. This time around, we're doing 100%. So can you kind of tell us, like, what is the difference in the approach of the routing, like how the run is like more expanded with 100%, just like all the juicy details between that and any percent?
Yeah, of course. So 100% is just beat the game with completing everything. So a current definition is just fill out, you know, the menu and the quest screen and all of that stuff.
Right.
And it used to be pretty straightforward a couple of years ago, just going through it. But now the speedrun is really interesting because as the meme implies, if you watched last year, you will know about DJ Pauza. So when we implement the Pauza, we can now start you doing sequence breaking in 100%, completely changing the order and abusing the flags and just routing it because there's so much in the game, right? So routing that into just a 5-6 hour run was very difficult, but it's definitely a run that's just all over the place and it makes a lot of fun because you're basically just going from dungeon to dungeon while routing in all of the side quests and also doing sequence breaking, getting items early so you can break other dungeons. So it's a lot of fun for sure.
Like, and I definitely like 100% runs myself because there's a lot of casual players that are like, oh, well, you know, in a speed run, you don't get to see all the really cool stuff. You don't get to see a bunch of maps. You don't get to hear some of the best soundtracks in the game. But with a 100% run, even if it's scattered, you're still going to get all of that. So casual runners, you're definitely going to appreciate a run like this.
Yeah, for
now,
sure.
Throughout this run, there's obviously a bunch of tricks and stuff. We just brought up Pauza itself. What would you say is the hardest trick, and what would you say is the most common trick we're going to see throughout the run?
Obviously, the hardest one actually, I would actually say would be the manual super swim, the Pauza one. It is just very difficult. The good thing about that when you're doing, you know, attempts is that it's the first trick of the run, so you can reset after 2-3 minutes. And a run like this, it's, you know, very difficult because you have to get it, right? The most common one is definitely item sliding, which is used to super swim, to go to areas early, to clip through walls. It's used for a load of just different scenarios.
Are you feeling social media questions?
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
feeling social
Yeah,
media questions.
that
Let's
works
take
great.
it to Twitter here. So we got Plutia Heart. I probably messed that up too. What's your favorite dungeon in the series? Oh, this is a broad one too.
Ooh,
the actual series.
This one
not
is
just the
more
game.
difficult than his Wind Waker. I would honestly say, because of the atmosphere actually, maybe Forest Temple and Ocarina of Time. I really like the music.
Forest Temple's really good.
Yeah.
I really like
Yeah.
it. And I agree, like it's totally
Yeah.
atmospheric.
The
Kinda
atmosphere
like,
and
it
the
kind of
music.
drags you in, you know? Like
Yeah,
you
for
feel like
sure.
you're a part of that.
Yeah.
We also have at It's Drev. How did you feel when Door Clip was discovered? Ooh, that's a good thing to explain too.
Door clip, yeah. So in the new any percent route, actually, even though we just ran half a year ago, it's completely different once again.
Of course.
Yeah, so now the speedrun is actually a little under an hour finally. So there's a trick where you want to go to Forsaken Fortress 2, which is the middle point of the game, basically. If you don't know the game's order, like by heart. You can get there early by clipping through a door. And that was known to be basically task only because it required so many precision, based information that a runner can't know, like, you know, XYZ positioning, speed values, and
Right.
stuff that you can't know in a speed run, right? But we finally found a more consistent method for it that has about an 80% chance of likelihood of working because you only need one variable now, which is much more consistent as a human being to actually perform. So in the beginning it was definitely rough, but now it's actually fun to run 90% again because of the discovery of that. So I would definitely say it's a good thing for the community.
Now you're mentioning any percent with that. Is this something we're going to see in your 100% run, or is it not a trick we're going to see?
No, sadly not. The only purpose of it is if you don't have the Master Sword or the Skullhammer, which we'll both have to get. So
We also have from Frost Monolith. Man, I am killing it today. Is it possible to complete the game without jumping?
without jumping, I I'm gonna say no, just because the last tower would actually make that impossible.
Right.
I would say so. I'm gonna say no, unless like I guess side hopping probably, but that's kind of cheating because it's still kind of hopping. So I'm gonna go with a no on that one.
Let's get a couple more questions, and we'll talk about some juicy, juicy prizes. So we got Jay Nashty. Is Toon Link your main in Smash Ultimate?
Ooh. You know, it's rough. I actually been playing a lot of Toon Link, even though I feel like he's not the best Link, sadly. But yeah, I would say Toon Link, Fox, and actually I like heavy characters, or Ridley. Really been enjoying that character. So that would be my mains, I would say.
I've been using Marth a lot because I'm
Marth?
lame like that. I like the swords. I like
Well,
the
Simon is really good. Have you tried Simon?
I have not.
Oh, really? His whip has really good range.
And we do have a Smash room here, so
Yeah,
I guess I'll try that out at some point in time. So last question from Dragon Neo. What part of the run was the easiest for you to learn?
Easiest for me to learn. I would actually say just, honestly, collecting an endgame. Even though there are some super swims, it's still pretty straightforward of go to dungeon, or sorry, go from island to island. So then you kind of just have to learn what you have to do in each individual island. So then it's pretty easy to memorize that. So I would say memorizing that is probably one of the easier parts of the run for sure.
All right, now let's get to some prizes, huh? Just like the last interview I had with you last year,
Yeah.
I make you hold stuff. Except we don't have sense. I'm kind of getting the training wheels taken off here.
Yeah, we're only two people this time.
Yeah. So right here, we actually have a bunch of Celeste Perlers. So we got a bunch of the hearts here, and we got the cassette tape. Now, I'm holding it upside down because I'm really good at this. But yeah, we got beautiful Perlers here. It's just a $5 minimum donation, and it's open until the end of the Wind Waker run. I cannot speak.
It's fine. We're two.
This is an awful time for me. We also have, right behind me, if you can see that, we have a Celeste vinyl from Ship to Shore. Now, once again, this is $15 minimum donation, and it's until the end of the Wind Waker run. We also have a scarf that my head's probably in the way of. Let me see if I can grab this here. I'm not going to take it off because I'll probably ruin everything, but it's a really soft scarf. I'm impressed with this. $10 minimum donation for that. Once again, end of Wind Waker HD. We also have this super duper heavy book that is super duper heavy. I can't get over how heavy it is. It is The Legend of the Hero. Now, this is something that's like, I'm gonna read the back for you, that way I don't mess this up. It's a compendium of natural history. You get a guide to over 80 common indigenous beings and a bunch of other crap that's gonna take forever to explain. This is a $5 minimum donation. Once again, Wind Waker. And one last thing before I let everyone go. This, beautiful, beautiful, Dangerous to Go Alone.
Beautiful painting. Holy crap.
You
should see that IRL.
This.
You're
the Zelda runner. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. $10 minimum donation. So let's get those donations going. But
it's hard to hold so much.
But anyway, this has been Keizaron and Linkus. We're just dropping stuff, and we're going to give it over to someone that can actually do something better than us. So take it away.
Take it away.
Thank you so much, Keys, for your interview. That was really interesting. It's okay if you have to jump a couple times. You're fine. I got a $125 donation from Edward Malice that says, the Cuphead all S&P grades run has blown me away. We also had a $130 donation from Salmon Buffalo that says, by my count, I had 13 retries, so as promised, here is $10 for each one. Well done, TMR, on another absolutely insane run. $50 from CrossChop114148 that says, super hype for Celeste. I can't wait to see screens I spent half an hour on to be absolutely destroyed. My donation goes to TaskBot playing Super Scribblenauts. TaskBot is best bot. I agree. Thank you, Alex46, for your $50 donation that says, here's to beating heart tricks and cancer.